Well, hey there, hero. In this episode of the VO Heroes podcast, I'm coming to you from my voiceover studio rather than my on camera studio. I didn't want to lose the ability to do a podcast episode from in here, and I kind of missed it. And we're making some changes in here as well. If you're watching the video version of this, you'll see them shortly. But what I wanted to share for you this week was some things that came to me when a client of mine, a hero, a VO Hero pro, got to work on set. And what he came away with, I think it was helpful for me to remember and might be helpful for you too. And we'll do that coming up next on this episode of the VO Heroes podcast. So I always love it when a client or student of mine branches out into something that isn't the norm. And one of my heroes, who I've known only from doing VO work with me and a podcast that he's a part of, got a chance to work on set. And, instead of just saying, hey, I got a chance to work on set, he actually wrote a note and posted it in our private discussion group on voheroes.com. And it was nice. I love those moments when you stretch, when you leave your comfort zone, or you return to what you've done before, because I think he had done on camera work before and it had been a while. Anyway, he wrote something. I wanted to share it with you. I just wanted to take a moment to say a very special thank you to David H. Lawrence 17th. You're welcome. I got to do on camera work yesterday for the first time in a long time. And I feel like the Camera Ready You class, the Secrets of Screen Acting book and podcast, and many other times, he's talked to us about his experiences via conversations outside of these classes were a huge help in making yesterday a big success. That's very kind of you. I appreciate that. The producer, the director, and the production assistant all took a shine to me, and I ended up being in the middle of a key scene because of it, which is great. That's what you want. So this is my list of to-dos that I put together from what David has taught me. Number 1, be prepared, have a plan, and bring everything you need. Yeah, you're going to have some downtime. You're going to have some time off in your trailer or off in your dressing room or just off to the side. Make sure you bring something to occupy your time, but keep one eye on what's going on set, right? Number 2, introduce yourself to the people who need to know you're there and let them know you're standing by, ready to do whatever they need. And it's an interesting kind of shade on that. You let them know you're there, but don't get in their way. And that's kind of what he's saying. I'm here. I'm ready whenever you are, which is great because so many people show up with this over enthusiasm, this like need to be, okay, I'm ready to go. Are we ready to go? Is everybody ready to go? You don't have to do that. Just relax. You're there because you got booked. The production assistant's going to take care of you. You're going to sign your paperwork. You're going to get into makeup and wardrobe, whatever you need to do. You're going to do some blocking. They're going to set the lights up. You're going to shoot the scene from one angle. It's all going to be taken care of. So bring some stuff during those downtimes when they're turning around, when they're adjusting lights, when they're changing up what they planned on doing to something more appropriate. Number 3, stay out of the way, but still within eyesight of the people who need you. Again, very key to be available, not like off at the crafts table or off in your trailer, not paying attention, talking to the extras, when you're or if you're an extra, talking to the crew or trying to, be a part of it just in case you need me. Hey, maybe you'll promote me. Yeah, just, relax. And that's what I'm getting from all of this stuff. And then number 4, when there are breaks, get to know the people around you. Ask questions if you can, taking an interest in learning more. And I can tell you that that is so appreciated. If you're just basically chatting with somebody who rarely gets chatted with, you think of gaffers, you think of focus pullers, you think of grips, you think of people who are not necessarily the glamour positions on the crew. They love talking with actors. As long as it's not a chore. And clearly, it wasn't a chore for him. And then there was a 5th one, a bonus one. Be perfectly happy to stay late and do as many takes as they need. We had a problem with random people inserting themselves into our shoot. Oh, like the person across the street, as soon as they would call action, the guy across the street would go, ruining the take. Yeah, When the director started apologizing to the actors for all the retakes, I just smiled and said, "No worries. I'm glad to do as many as we need." Ugh, that's like that's like music to the crew's ears when you're not one of those actors, when you're not a wactor, right? I've heard so many people call actors that are filled with themselves or are doing things that just turn people off to actors mostly. And then it's so refreshing when somebody doesn't do those things. So awesome. Yeah. So no worries. I'm glad to do as many as we need. Thank you, David. You're awesome. I so appreciate it. And when I read this, I was like, it brought back so many memories of recent memories just a few weeks ago, but all the way back to when I first started doing on camera work and how much fun it was and how much it reminded me of what it was like when I first started doing radio. Couldn't wait to get to the studio. Couldn't wait to get on air. Was like nervous and with excitement. And over the years, radio turned into a different kind of business and it wasn't all that exciting to work in. Um, but to see this joy is just really, really great. I so appreciate the kind words. And I think what we can all take away from this is there is nothing in this business that has to be a chore. Everything, we are so blessed, so fortunate to be in a business where so much is awesome. It's so cool to have a scene just flow, and it's so cool to go in for an audition and know that you've got it, and then to get that call and then to see the results on the screen. It's just great. I wonder what it's like for you. Do you have that joy? Do you have that what I'm coming from here is this like wondrous joy. Do you still have that joy? Do you still know what it's like to feel fortunate to be in the business? Is there cynicism creeping in? I don't feel an ounce of it here, right? So let me know in the comments below. I'd love to know what you think because keeping things fresh like this, keeping things in perspective and enjoying the fact that we get to do this kind of job instead of jobs that aren't necessarily so much fun. Anyway, let me know in the comments below on VOHeroes.com. I'd love to have you on my list if you want to get on the list. At the very bottom of the page, there's a little form you can fill out. It says get on the list right at the top of the form. And I want to thank you so much for giving me a little bit of your time this week. I thank you for listening and for watching. I'm David H. Lawrence the 17th, and I will talk with you soon.